Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Next Issue podcast. And
What's up?
of course, we had to start with the Peacemaker opening, and we're having a Peacemaker party.
Hell yeah. About damn time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, will that kick us off of YouTube and Twitch? Who knows?
Well, I like the fact that finally my big ass headphones. I'm cosplaying as Peacemaker. So yeah.
Jeez.
Clay, we bought
Hey,
as much time as we could. I played the whole intro. I was gonna start playing episode 1.
No.
Oh, go ahead.
Screw this. Clay, take my name off. Take my name off.
Oh yeah, that's good. So yeah, as you can probably tell, we'll be talking about Peacemaker today. Full spoilers. So if you haven't watched Peacemaker, first of all, what's wrong with you?
No doubt. We're late. We're late doing the show, but you should have
we
already
already gave you
watched.
plenty of time. We're running on Josh time here for the show.
I've watched the series 4 times now.
I watched the last episode 4 times.
So
I do love putting it on for the soundtrack.
Yeah. Oh my god.
This is the humble brag episode apparently, huh? I've seen it once all the way through. So
I was watching Peacemaker before it was cool.
Daniel's like, I knew the whole dance by heart before anyone had even seen the first episode.
We need that. We need him to do the actual dance with Dan. If we can do a certain level in Patreon, he needs to do the dance.
Yeah.
I swear, if I could move, I would do the dance as Captain Boomerang. And then I thought halfway through, do Captain Boomerang with all the wood sticking out from his death in Suicide Squad.
Oh Lord.
But I just cannot move. I'm.
Speaking of Patreons, let's give them a shout out before we get going. We have a new Patreon today. Welcome, Sabrina Sarver.
Hey,
Hey, Sabrina.
Thank you very
much.
much.
Mike Rappin, also the I Read Comic Books podcast, Final Meal, and Jason Ashmore. Thank you guys for being our patrons and making a lot of what happens here happen. So we'll get started with we'll go into our main topic first, and then head up into our previously on stuff to catch up for the week. But we want to make sure that we can cover Peacemaker with plenty of time because there's a lot to talk about. For the audio listeners, you can go listen to the full episode on YouTube. Find the link in the description. So yeah, let's talk about Peacemaker and why is this show so fucking good?
I hated it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I feel like we all know a guy like this, a guy that we went to high school with that's still kind of stuck there and believes everything he reads on the internet and is kind of just a musclehead dummy.
Yeah.
Do y'all know someone like that?
I mean, I'm like not closely, but
adjacently, like you know of a guy like this.
Yes,
no one is bulky.
Yeah, no one is bulky.
It's a type, let's put it that way. I think the thing I was not expecting was how much of a redemption arc this was going to be for him, because and it really clearly felt like Gunn had this set up from Suicide Squad, right? Yeah. So
because at the end of Suicide Squad, and obviously spoilers for that movie, look, I really like what they did with the Colonel Flag in the second movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then to have this character turn on everyone that we've kind of endeared ourselves for, about 2 hours and kill Rick Flag, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
But when you get to the end credit scene and you're like, oh, we known about the show, but we didn't really know what the show was going to be about. But we get to that end, and then we see him in the hospital. We're like, okay, so it looks like we're going to continue this guy's story and maybe learn more about his past. And like you guys just said, it's really a full. I don't know that he completely redeemed the character because there are some things that this dude's done probably that are irredeemable.
Yeah.
But I mean, John Cena just plays the character so endearing that it's hard to be like, fuck that dude,
right.
Throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. He wants friends and he wants a family so bad, and I really I said this in chat to you guys. I really hope Cena wins some sort of award for this. He is unbelievably good. And even in just stuff where there's that long shot when he realizes everyone else on the team knows something that he doesn't.
Yeah.
And he's like glaring at Adebayo. And she's just like, I gotta like walk away. I mean, without saying anything, that whole scene just sets up perfectly how they're feeling in that moment. So,
and first of all, let's talk. Clay, you missed the intro. We played the whole intro right before this.
Oh, damn it!
It's okay. You can go back and watch it. Yeah.
Start doing the dance.
James Gunn said, and the team set out to have an unskippable intro, and I think they succeeded.
I never skipped it. Every time it came on, that little button would come up. I'm like, no, I'm gonna watch it. So,
yeah.
Do y'all think they'll do a new one for season 2? I mean, essentially everyone's back, but like his dad is in his head, and
not everybody.
I mean, Judo Master is gone. We don't know where.
I think Judo Master is going to be his beginning of having a list of bad guys. That's going to be the beginning of his rogues gallery. Yeah, because that was the thing that his neighbor kept accusing him. You can't be a superhero without a rogues gallery.
Without a rogues gallery. Oh, interesting. All right.
When you talk about characters coming back, the cops aren't going to be back.
Yeah, the detectives are gone.
They're dead.
That's the one. That one guy took a machete to the head. That was beautiful.
Which also, what a fun twist of like.
Mern's gone also.
Yeah.
Who?
Oh yeah,
Mern.
Mern. Yeah.
Mern is gone to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
3.
Who was he in Guardians?
No, he's going to be in Volume
3. He's going to be in Volume 3. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be in Volume 3. I think people are saying he's going to be the what's the guy that rules Counter Earth that makes animal hybrids?
Oh, the high evolutionary.
The high evolutionary.
Wow, that'd be kind of cool.
That's perfect. That's perfect casting. That's good.
That's what I've heard. So who knows?
Anyone else bothered by? I mean, I liked it. I just want to stress that I liked it, but that in moment when he's on his porch and the little goth alien comes back and he just pours like the last of the food down, I was kind of like, isn't he a little worried about this? Like he's still feeding this one alien that
But
that's his last meal.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all the food he has left, right?
Yeah.
The cow's dead.
But watch it be some way he finds an ample supply of it, and Goff's still alive. Season 2. He's like his second sidekick, like Eagle. He lets him roam around randomly out of a can or something.
I mean, I have a couple of questions because, like, could Goff go inside his dad's dead body and reanimate it?
Oh Lord!
Oh wow!
Or Mern.
Yeah, or Mern.
Well, I don't know. Mern's got no head anymore. I mean, they blew it apart.
Oh, that's right.
Whereas
how did he kill his dad? I forget now.
Just a shot to the head.
Shot to the head.
Okay, with that gun. It's gonna be kind of interesting to kind of have a guy walking around with a hole in his head.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking too.
In the images where I had all the time.
He's gonna get that wonderful mullet hairdo back just to cover it.
He's just gonna brush it forward.
Yeah, like just get bangs. The guy, they should just update the intro and put the bullet hole in Robert Patrick's head.
Oh, that would be good.
Now, I know one thing that when we watched some of the tweet-alongs, Robert Patrick talked about how much he messed up in the dance at the end that they still kept in. So every time we watch the credits, I ask, because Shelby goes, I'm watching him every time. I can't not watch him be out of sync a little bit.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I need to do that now.
Yeah, and so now it's like every time the credits are on, you're watching him. You're watching him.
There's a fun featurette behind the scenes too of the credits you can go watch. So let's talk a little bit about the characters. So we have a few characters. Some are from the comics. Some are, I think only one of them is completely new, and I believe that's Adebayo. Right. I think Mern, Economist, Hardcore, Vigilante, and Peacemaker, they're all from the comics.
Are they really? I didn't know that.
Checkmate.
Yeah, even if their counterparts are, I guess, a little bit different or completely different in this case. I think Hardcore's a dude, I believe. No, maybe not.
No, it's a girl, a woman.
Yeah. So So I think it's interesting that James Gunn loves to take these characters that like only one person has probably read them.
Well, okay,
and that's like James Gunn.
I'm gonna go right back. No, it's like going back to Guardians 2. I knew who Taserface was, but who else knew what he was originally? Nobody knew he was a Stark. And he's just some guy. I want to be called Taserface. I think the name's cool. And it's like, in the comic books, he's actually a cybernetic bred with Stark armor. I mean,
yeah, Kyle made us read that. I remember.
Kyle made us read it.
Damn straight.
Just read about Taserface. It's metaphorical. I love that guy.
But the fun thing about a new character like Adebayo is that you get to play with it, and then I'm going through a list from Looper. Like the fact that he made Adebayo Waller's daughter was a really cool reveal. Like I think first or second episode.
Yeah,
Waller just doesn't seem like she would involve anyone close to her.
Well, it also makes you wonder how she's going to treat her daughter now after she's been betrayed by her. Is she beyond killing her own family?
Right. And does this form checkmate? Does this create a new division of the American government that maybe they run?
That's a good point, because if we look at Waller's arc so far from Suicide Squad, she's going down, right? Yeah. Suicide Squad fails. Her team turns against her. Her daughter turns against her in Peacemaker. So, yeah, that like, does she become the villain of season 2?
I mean, that would be a big get, because I already didn't think Viola Davis would be in this at all. Because I mean, it's Viola Davis; she's probably got better shit to do.
Yeah, but you also didn't think we were going to get Momoa or Miller either, but they made an appearance.
That's true.
And for some reason, they edited out a Batman actor and Cyborg actor. I'd read.
I noticed that you only get Wonder Woman, Superman, and then the two of them.
Miller.
See, Batman makes sense because he's the only one that wouldn't be able to get there quickly.
Well, there was an actor who played the role that said that he was cut out. So there was an actor that was dressed up as Batman for that.
Yeah, I saw pictures of it.
I wonder if they did it because they knew this would be coming close to the Batman coming out, and they're like, we don't want to confuse things, like.
That's true.
Which Batman is it?
We don't want to confuse anyone until the Flash movie comes out.
Yeah. Touche.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just Adebayo is just the most amazing character. I love her so much. She carries a show in which she is competing against so many other and it's just fantastic. So good.
Well, I mean, the big scene when she has her first day at work and she's like, I just really want to try to, be friends with everyone. Like she's doing that first day kind of introduction, and it's so funny. Like that. Yeah, that's great. But when Adebayo becomes a big character, she'll be moved into the comics too. So, that would be great to see a reveal of her in the comics too.
Yeah. That would be good.
And I mean, also the thing with her is like you get to see you don't get to see a lot of these people's other side of their personal life, but with her, you see her relationship with her wife. And she's only trying to do this. Like, this is her last option, looks like, right? To work with her mom in this covert unit is like her last option. So the tension with her wife, like throughout the whole show, I'm like, I hope they don't end up splitting up because of this.
I was worried about that too. Yeah. But I like how it didn't go that direction. I feel like that would have been a little pandering, right? Like, oh, we've got to create tension kind of thing. And they didn't, which I thought was really, really good.
Yeah, the pandering was dressing up the dog.
Yes. but that's cool. That's fine.
I love that people have dogs in his world so that you can just have dogs dressed up in little sailor outfits. And
it's only one dog. That's my favorite thing. That dog likes it.
That dog likes it.
That dog likes it. I did worry because I remember I was past the halfway point. And I had this kind of idea in my head when watching the intro. And then I saw an article about it too, about how the way they're grouped in the intro is a little bit of foreshadowing. And when she shows up kind of solo, I was like, oh God, is she gonna get kidnapped? Like, I don't want her to be the person in peril. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And she wasn't, which I was very happy about. But
everyone else was in peril.
Everyone else was, yeah, absolutely.
When she exited that cow, I was just laughing my ass off because I was like, you got to be reading that script going, Adebayo falls out of the cow and is just covered in guts.
I think
It's
the first
raining
one's
guts.
the first one's funnier to me when she just shoots into the wall and
Yeah.
hits nothing.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Because I'm like as soon as they set it up in the van that's what that thing does.
Yeah.
I knew somebody was gonna use it. I just didn't know who or how or when, and it came at the most like it was like the best use of it because
well, because they set it up just beforehand, right? So you think the one time she shoots forward is going to be the only time, and then when he says it and she just like rockets it, the cow, it was so great. Oh.
Well, and then she does it. She doesn't even try to do that one, right? Peacemaker is the one that says that.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Which, can I just point out, from a technological failsafe perspective, the fact that anyone's voice can activate these is a really bad idea. Right?
They're so high tech that anyone can do it. It's like
anyone could say, just say.
Well, and that gives me a lot of questions, and I hope in the next season we do get Robert Patrick to learn more about how does he have such technology, like that room that's just like a different dimension.
How does he have his own TARDIS, basically?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even though he hates his son, why does he keep making all this battle armor for him? And we know part of it is to keep track of him because all the helmets had trackers,
which he didn't, I guess, realize at first, right?
I don't think
seems to put that together.
Yeah, but we still have one helmet out in the wild. The Uber driver that he gave in the first episode a helmet to for payment.
That's true.
And I thought that was going to come back eventually, but that one's floating around. So
I guess that one doesn't have any additional
makes you wonder
powers.
Yeah, we don't know which one he took. It wasn't the scabies one.
The first time we do see a helmet have additional utility is when he fights the female butterfly at the beginning which is I would consider the main big first fight, which starts with Cena just doing the best dance along to "I Don't Love You Anymore."
Oh yeah.
Can I bring up? I have 3 what I find to be incredibly subtle jokes that just killed me throughout the series. One of them is right after that, or right during that scene. Right, and it is he's playing the album, and he's just talking to her in the background about all the music he likes and stuff, and then he makes the comment, it's not like music today with all that slow-paced electronic shit. And then when it goes back to the score, that is exactly what the score sounds like. Like, it is very intentional. Like, when it cuts from the album he's playing to like just the background music, it is exactly what he hates. And I died. I'm like, that is such a great subtle joke.
I just love the soundtrack. I definitely will be getting this on vinyl.
Oh
yeah. Which, have they announced that yet? Like, I assume it's going to be through Mondo. But...
No, they have actually released a Spotify track that you can go download for the soundtrack, but they haven't done one for vinyl yet.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think that's going to be great. Mondo does great art. I just pre-ordered the Batman.
My only problem with Mondo, and I'm not trying to shit on them, but it's just they're a little pricey at times.
Very pricey.
Yeah, they are.
And thanks to Adele taking up all the vinyl presses all over the world, like it takes forever.
Wait, really? Adele bought all the vinyl presses?
I don't know if you guys this is dumb, but last year Adele released her album. So because of how many vinyls they wanted to print, that took up it just backed up everyone else's vinyl work.
Wow.
Because it's Adele, so I guess she's got the most money to make sure that her stuff gets printed first. I don't know. But yeah, if you got any delays on vinyl last year, then
I do, as a matter of fact. So now I know who to blame.
What I wonder is, why does it cost almost $9 to ship a damn vinyl from Austin?
I think it's mainly because of the protection.
Yeah,
they come very, very well packaged.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
I have not gotten one bad vinyl from Mondo. I ordered from Amazon for a while. I have 3 Wu-Tang albums because they were all bent and twisted. So
extra Wu-Tang, eh?
Don't worry, I'm giving it out to the kids.
Good.
During Halloween,
the kids
you got their candy or Wu-Tang. Which do you want?
The kids need to know that Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. That's just a very important life lesson.
Wu-Tang is for the children.
But yeah, that scene with the first fight, I mean, very very violent. There's a lot of knife stabbing to Peacemaker.
No shit. The hand, the shoulder, the gut, but my favorite is getting to see the sonic boom.
Yeah. That was
because
awesome.
They keep her in frame when she just explodes
Yep.
into like just a giant blood splattered.
And you can't ignore it because you get that scene later when the cops show up and the one cop's like, "Well, they're eating pizza." She's like, "I think that's a face." And she's like,
"Yeah, that showed me this wasn't fucking around."
Yeah, I will say the other thing I really love, because I can see on paper it has the potential to just ruin the episode, and I found it to be just so brilliantly done, is just the extensive sequence of him trying to get out of the hotel.
Yeah.
Or the apartment building, right?
And had to get the music.
Well, and I read that whole scene as an indictment of every comic book character just gracefully leaping across rooftops, right? Like, this is like, oh shit, I gotta jump one floor down. Oh, my shoulder, like it's like it felt painfully real, and I really love that.
Well,
so.
Yeah.
And the other thing is they introduced that couple in the apartment, right? That the wife keeps hitting on him, and I mean it's John Cena, I get it. And the husband's just like so apathetic to like the whole situation.
Those two fighting, and then the extra scene of them at the end when they're looking at the headshots, and she's like, "Can I keep this?"
Yeah.
Well,
and then you get the reveal later where like all three of them are in bed. It's him and Vigilante and her.
Yeah.
And he's still wearing his mask.
Still wearing his mask. I love that.
I
kind of was hoping for at the end when he was in the hospital and he passes out and has to go back in there, that Peacemaker makes them keep his mask on so it doesn't reveal as kind of a friendship thing.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been good.
I think they all know that it's stupid and dumb because everyone knows who Vigilante is pretty much.
Yeah, but if you play along with him, you don't have to like belittle him, but you can play along.
But Vigilante is not exactly the smartest boat in the shed, or in the shed, because I mean,
counterpoint. And for the audio listeners, that was the scene where he just tries to make his face not be recognizable by being weird,
which they come back to later when when Peacemaker's really mad. He's like, "Oh, are you doing your face exercises?"
Yeah.
Yeah. When he's I'm not trying not to cry.
He's crying, you dipshit.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm sorry.
I was going to point out in the first episode, he has the getaway in the Uber car, which is so anticlimactic and hilarious to watch as he cheers for himself in the back of a car. But then when he like does a real getaway with the team, it's like much more rewarding. I love that play.
I still love the opening conversation he has with the janitor. Come on, we smoked a joint together. It doesn't matter if I smoked the joint. I don't trust me.
I feel like since he was from MIT, he's going to be the new tech guy. He's going to take over as
I could see that
tech guy and weed guy.
Yeah.
So so Freddie Stroma plays Vigilante, and I have a quote from James Gunn when he was asked what led to Freddie Stroma taking over the role and doing all the reshoots, because originally it appears there was a different actor playing. He says, Stroma came in late. We had already shot 5.5 episodes with another actor who's an incredibly talented guy, but we were on different pages about certain things, and I don't think he wanted to continue on the series in the long run. So we brought in Freddie in 5.5 episodes in. I reshot all of his scenes, but this person from Joe Blow Media is the first person asked that, which is crazy. So he directed all the Vigilante scenes. Gunn personally directed all those scenes because they were reshoots, and I guess they couldn't get the original directors of the episode, because I don't think all of them were directed by Gunn. They were all written by Gunn, but not directed.
Yeah,
it was 5.
I was gonna say like around half of them were done by Gunn. It seemed like so.
Yeah, I know Jody Hill did one, which I was really surprised about.
He's the Righteous Gemstones vice principals dude, right?
Halloween.
Yeah.
Gunn directed 5.
Okay.
Which is crazy. Can you imagine reshooting your scenes for, I would say, one of the title characters for 5?
Yeah, totally.
Episodes?
No shit.
That also begs the question: is that Freddie Stroma in the dance scene?
That
in the beginning.
It's not. He's they've talked about that.
Okay.
Luckily, he was wearing the mask, so there's no like. And it may not even be the original actor either. It may just be like a stunt person.
Someone else, yeah.
Did Gunn reshoot any scenes, like anytime that Freddy or the Vigilante was in a scene with people where he's wearing the mask? Did they have to reshoot those also, or is it just when he takes the mask off?
That's interesting. I don't know. I would think they could just ADR those things and put underneath.
Yeah. Because the whole first time he meets him is outside the trailer window, and he has his mask on the whole time.
Yeah, we don't get the mask taken off until like episode 3, I think.
And that might have been a choice. That might have been a choice by Gunn if he was already hesitant about this person.
Yeah.
Maybe like keep his mask on as much as we can, so try to avoid. So who knows?
Which makes sense because by the end of the season, he's more often out of mask than in mask.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So,
you don't want to keep a face like that under a mask.
Oh my gosh, that GIF is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh God, it just the only scene I was kind of a little bummed about is when he's taping Goff to himself so they can escape the trailer, and I'm like, he's gonna break that jar.
Yeah.
Like, I just knew it. I was like, there's no way he's not breaking that jar.
What was y'all favorite vigilante moment?
Oh man,
I didn't.
I still love the fact when they're trying to talk to Goff in a jar, and he's like, yes or no questions, and Vigilante just goes off and it's like the most retarded, dumb. It's like, no, yes or no questions. It's like,
okay, that is my second favorite subtle joke. All right, because he's asking about movies, and Peacemaker's like, movies. In case we want to go see movies, and the movies he lists. All right, Three Amigos.
Yeah.
Unshin Andalou, which is the first famous surrealist movie by Dali and Brunel. Porky's 2.
Porky's 2.
I literally stopped it, and I could not stop laughing for 5 minutes because I felt like that was a joke tailored for me, right? Big comic nerd, also surrealist scholar. You throw Unshin Andalou in a joke, and I am 1000% there. I had to stop and write it down. Like, I have to have this perfect when I talk about it. So
I was going to say, you're going to be the only one that gets that reference. Because I missed that one completely. I was like,
oh man, so good. So good. Anyway, sorry, I totally derailed it. Anyway, but yes, so for me, that's my favorite Vigilante moment.
Before we finish with Vigilante, because we could talk about all these characters for a long time. When he goes into the prison to try to kill his dad, and he does the whole speech at the table with these white supremacists.
Yes,
that was amazing. Masterful work. Like the dialogue, and sometimes I will say, sometimes the dialogue, I'm like, all right, I get it, James Gunn. You're edgy and cool and writing like a teenager sometimes. But like for this stuff, like it really, really just works so well. And then he kicks everyone's ass, right? Except Robert Patrick, who's smart enough to know that he's trying to goad him into a fight.
Yeah.
You don't fuck with the T-1000, right? So
what a great casting for his dad to be just a piece of shit you fear, even though he's like an old man.
Yeah.
It's just Robert Patrick, just because he's scary as fuck.
When he first arrives in the prison, he walks over and he sees the one black dude sitting down. He just looks at him and goes, I ain't made for this. And he just gets up and he sits down there. You guys are like, all right, let's go bow before him.
Yeah.
It's like, he's got some pulse in some form.
He is chilling in this show. Oh man, yeah, he's so good.
But did you see him in the opening sequence dancing?
Yeah.
I'm curious if Peacemaker is going to have to go through some sort of therapeutic journey to rid his dad from his mind, and maybe that's what season 2 is. When
you're hallucinating that you shoot a poison dart at your dad, and the hallucination dies. You got a little bit of issues there.
Yeah. I guess another thing I would say, if I have to complain, and there's not a lot because there's a lot of good stuff in the show, but I really didn't want them to try to get Peacemaker and Hardcore to get together.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what it seemed like, but I feel like that was just a feint at the beginning of the show because that's just kind of his defense mechanisms, just to I
think that's just Peacemaker trying to be more macho than exactly. A lot of the stuff I've read, apparently They said you can see some things in the show of saying that he's either either bi or he he kind of goes both ways. So
yeah.
And that was his like recommendation. I read that like Cena brought that to the table.
Oh,
like,
okay.
let's make him bisexual, But that said, there is a moment. I agree with you, Daniel, but there was a moment probably around episode 6 or so where there's a couple of really interesting moments where Harcourt is clearly eyeing Vigilante.
Yeah.
And so I thought the twist was going to be she was going to end up with him, and then that was going to piss off John Cena or Peacemaker. But
yeah, but even with that, when she's in the hospital, and he goes to see her, and she wakes up, they're holding hands. I'm still curious if that's even an indication toward the relationship, or is it just an indication that hey, these are two really screwed up people who now have somebody that care about each other and more of a bonding friendship.
Yeah, that's how I took it. That like, and I think for Peacemaker, that would be even more powerful, right? That's why he was so hurt when he felt Adebayo betrayed him. Like he's like, I thought we were friends. It's like I don't think he wants just the relationship. I think he wants the friendship. He wants the family. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he goes through half the show thinking his dad is his family until he realizes how terrible he is for him, and that he's had these friends the whole time. Vigilante, especially. Vigilante knows exactly what Peacemaker needs and wants, like going shooting out in the woods and all that fun shit. But Peacemaker doesn't want to believe that guy would be his friend because he just isn't as like what he imagines like this tough guy dad, what his dad would picture, or maybe what his brother was.
Right. And Vigilante very much seems like a replacement for his brother, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Someone he can go do these things with, but who accepts him for who he is. Doesn't like, berate him, likes the same stuff. There's that really key moment where both of the boys are in the room playing the song, and they're just digging it. And it's like, this is the stuff that we like. So,
and it's kind of a reverse of the relationship because Peacemaker looked up to his brother, right? Like he would wanted to listen to the same music and watch the same stuff. They wore the Rock shirt, the Rock t-shirts or whatever, even though their dad didn't really approve and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And Vigilante's kind of the reverse of that, where he's the one that wants to be like Peacemaker. So yeah, that was an interesting dynamic of like, let's set up these two dudes and Vigilante's a fucked up dude. Like, don't get it twisted.
Oh yeah.
He just wants to kill.
He's clearly a sociopath or a psychopath, perhaps.
Cena has a conscience. Vigilante, you're not really sure.
Especially, there's a scene where they go to the vet office and they're like, well, if we're not gonna I don't want to. He doesn't want to make them uncomfortable by tying them up, but he will kill them.
Yeah,
because they would feel no discomfort there. Like it's a very extreme of two sides.
Oh, I just want to mention real quick, like the hardcore Peacemaker. Like if you go from that first episode, and Peacemaker just wanting hardcore for sex, like he just explains to her, like, look, I just need it. Like that's all he wanted from her, to the end where he just sat with her until she healed. Like he just sat outside the hospital, sat outside her hospital room waiting.
Yeah.
And just seeing how much that he's changed from that.
Yeah.
Well, and I also like the fact that you get a little bit of an arc with Harcourt as well, right? Oh, yeah. I really appreciated by like episode 7 and 8, like when they find Myrn, Harcourt starts to crack a little bit, right? She's no longer this like just total like badass. She's more emotional than Adebayo. And there's some great moments later on where Adebayo just like steps up and just like shooting people, and and it's this interesting kind of like reversal, it
just, I don't know. I really like how all the characters, they have more layers to what they were kind of. I mean, they didn't really have a lot of time to play with them in Suicide Squad. Economos, I feel like he's the only one that's kind of maintained solid. Like he's always the dude that he is like from the movie to the show. Like he doesn't change much. Like he's always very honest with like what he's thinking and stuff. I do think it's funny that him framing his dad for the car for the murder, and then that leading us to that whole scene of like Peacemaker telling him all the other people that he could have framed.
Adele.
And then the end credit scene that's just like that scene cut. Like it just goes more and more and more.
I hope people were watching those scenes. I did. Stuff.
Yeah.
Because they were really good. They were just like probably things that were left out of the episode, but they were really good.
The most disturbing one is the sheriff when he's talking to the dead body and doing like
oh god, that was so good.
And you see
great.
Well, there's another one where he's doing the press conference and you see the deputies just breaking in the back like
yes,
I shit he's saying.
It was so good.
I told my wife about that actually because you see that one cop and he's just like he can't keep it in.
I honestly thought he was a butterfly at first, but there was the way he was
so did I. So even and this is the one scene that really confused me. So after oh god, I just blanked on her name. The cop.
Detective Song.
Yeah, when Goff goes inside her and she shows up and he just kind of makes that little thing. I thought his butterfly knew she had a butterfly, and so but then that's not the case. So I don't know. That was very weird.
I mean, they were able to convince Judo Master and this guy that they were there for the right purpose. So that's really all it took was this guy believing that people were making bad choices and they were here to help.
How do you guys feel about, I mean, I don't know, the butterflies is not something we've seen in the comics, but I think it takes a little bit of some of the things we've seen before, like the Reach, the Blue Beetle, the Reach and all that stuff where they kind of take over people. This one's a little funnier and I'm a little upset they never paid off the hole going in through the butt. Like it just feels like something, even if they would have put it in like an after credit scene or something, like especially at the police station when there's all the thousands of butterflies come in and then they just kind of take over everyone in there in the prison. Like I thought at least I was keeping my eye out just to see like was one of them gonna go in through the butt.
I like Daniel slow-moing the slow-mo just to be sure, right? Like I'm looking at asses. Let's see.
Are those pants moving? Is there a butterfly in there?
If you show me a PowerPoint slide in Act 1, I hope it pays off in the future, right? What is it, Chekhov's gun?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So the Avengers didn't do it with Thanos, and now Peacemaker didn't do it with the butterflies.
Well, I feel the butterflies are a close relative of Starro in the
That's what I was thinking too. And so here we have two James Gunn things where we have Starro and we have the butterflies, and it seems related,
Yeah, like Starro, they're all one collective, but here they're all independent, and their purpose here is because their world's gone and to build a better future versus Starro's, was stolen and is just trying to live.
Yeah, Starro was a tragic character.
James Gunn makes even the villains sympathetic at times.
Except Robert Patrick.
Except the racist. And even if you watch it with subtitles, he has the race. It's like racist thug, and they all have different names of and they're derogatory about each one.
Yeah.
All right. I have a moment I want to show you guys because I never thought we would see this. So for the audio listeners, you should be able to hear it, but you can come watch.
Oh yes.
Economos.
So Economos kind of steals a Vigilante's moment with the chainsaw.
I love it. I almost went with Economos with the chainsaw for my name today. Just oh god, and then just how much I think that whole episode was set up so well because you get the Hanoi Rock stuff earlier, right? So I think if they had only based Peacemaker finally becoming friendly with Economos on the chainsaw incident, it would have kind of ruined stuff, right? It is much more about they both love Hanoi Rock, and then that seals the deal, So
I feel like Economos is the last person that you really feel for when he gives his Diebeard speech.
God, that's hard. Yeah.
Best Steve AG I've ever seen is that scene. Is him just confessing why he dyes his beard as an alien, to an alien.
Oh
So
yeah,
good.
yeah. When he, man, that was good.
Because I feel like Harcourt you fall in love with in the first episode.
Oh yeah.
When she beats the fuck out of those guys, and then Summertime Girls turns on, and she turns, and you're just like. But then every woman fell in love with her afterwards after she tells off Peacemaker, and she goes, "Maybe I just want to have a beer, but you and these guys down at the end of the bar just fucking won't let me."
Yep.
Economos, I mean, that scene, I've never seen him do a scene like that. He was on Sarah Silverman program.
That's
He was
right,
in
for
Guardians. Yeah, just so hilarious. But that was such a touching moment.
I also, I really like the fact that, like, that whole sequence with him, I felt was just like, you know, because he steals himself, he walks into the whole thing. The minute he gets in the barn, he goes and he throws up into a trash can, right? Like, he's just like, this is not what he does. He's the guy in the van, right?
He's an analyst.
Yeah.
And then at the end, like a really fucked up moment, he tries to climb over the fence and just breaks his leg.
I know. I'm
like,
I know that was,
and they
with the
show
bone
it
sticking out and everything. Holy
and then he crawls forward to like help him out. Like, I mean, it's like Economos. Good job, dude.
Like, he crawled forward for his team. He was going to take care of Harcourt, and
and now we got another. You know, we don't just have to be Fat Thor from Avengers. We have another thing to cosplay.
Economos.
Yeah, I'm gonna. And the whole 11th Street Kid gang, which I love that scene when they're rocking out after they complete their first mission together. That was after the Gorilla Chainsaw moment, right? I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because even Economos was on the same page with Peacemaker about the music, but it didn't click until after they had that moment together.
And you can also tell that was kind of Harcourt's like full pivot, because she's the one that takes the picture.
Exactly. Which the whole time I'm like, is she not worried about that being uploaded?
I mean, at this point, they left a mess in that factory. Who's not going to find out?
Yeah. So that's my third really subtle joke. I love these little tiny things that James Gunn throws in. If you notice, at the start of that episode, Adebayo's wearing a shirt that says work shirt, and it's just splattered with paint. And then throughout the whole episode, everyone is splattered with blood, like more and more and more.
And then at the end of that episode too, we get the reveal, because she puts on the X-ray helmet. And then we've realized Mern's a butterfly. So we get two things out of that.
You knew that beforehand, because there's a scene
we knew before that
where he's actually drinking the liquid.
Yeah.
I meant she knew. She
finds out.
Yeah, right. We knew as the watcher. But then we get two things out of that. First of all, Mern tells us, or Butterfly Mern tells us, that he picked Mern because he was like the worst piece of shit human he could find.
Yeah.
And then two, the fact that Mern Butterfly has his own mission that is to, I guess it clashes against the other butterflies that kind of want to take away our free will and stuff, even if it's for humankind's benefit. Well, I mean, that could get real philosophical.
Especially with what's going on right now in the world. I hate to say it, but when you think about what they wanted to do, it's like there's some people that almost find it sympathetic.
Yeah. I mean, right. I'm sure there's those shirts out there. The butterflies were right.
The butterflies are right. I mean, they do a good job when, you know, kind of the reveal at the end when Goth and the detective pulls Peacemaker out from under all the rubble, and she's trying to explain, like, this is why we're doing this, right? I mean, so you do kind of feel for both sides of this. God, I shouldn't have said both sides. I hate that. Both factions, perhaps, but
Josh, you're off the show.
I know. Kick me off.
That was good.
Now I have a really dumb, stupid question, because there was one thing also I was kind of confused on. Was there a butterfly in the gorilla, or is it just a gorilla?
No, there was a butterfly in the gorilla.
Oh yeah, he was way too strong. I mean, I know gorillas are strong, but that was the way what shit he was doing was definitely coherent with what he's doing.
Although it's weird, if there's a butterfly, why would they need to keep him contained? Like, can't the butterfly? Maybe butterflies can't fully control like animals like they can humans.
It could be that, but also when they enter into a creature's body, they get all of its memories, right? Like they set that up. And it didn't dawn on me until the end. Maybe that's why the Goth alien never goes in Peacemaker, because it knows it's going to have to deal with some really fucked up shit. You know, like, so.
I wouldn't want to.
Oh, no. I mean, especially when we know at that moment in his head is his dad, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. No, I mean, I think at the end, the Goth butterfly is really like, it has no way to survive. Although, I would think they would have been able to find maybe a substitute here if they could have worked that in, like where the Earth has enough resources that I'm sure something can, be a nutrient to them. But
they never showed them actually. I mean, like, there is an explosion in that factory, but they never show them destroying all of the jars. I mean, there could still be some there, right?
I thought you were gonna say they never show them milking the cow, and I was like, huh.
No, they do.
And then I was like, now I know what Josh's favorite scene in The Last Jedi is.
Ew.
Yeah.
Oh,
blue milk.
Green milk. That was
green milk.
Cool.
There's no white milk anywhere in the Star Wars universe. I'm convinced it's some color somewhere.
It was have you milked a bantha?
Let's not go there.
So, all right, let's focus on the end so we can wrap this up, because I think we've had a good conversation, but I do want to talk about the end. We do have some cameos, like Kyle mentioned earlier, to kind of. So, I think.
Well, okay. I want to throw one thing, but before we do that, that last fight scene when they're racing in, when a hardcore vigilante and Peacemaker are racing in, and he just takes out that fucking shield. And that last fight, when they start playing the song, and he's Captain America in that damn thing better than I think Captain America can. He throws and uses his gun to impale at one of the butterflies. I'm just like, this is hot shit.
Yeah.
Vigilante decapitating people. It was so awesome. Just them three running in was fucking the best action sequence.
Oh my God.
Does he use a shield in the comics? I'm sure he does at some point.
Possibly, but that was the first time we ever saw the damn thing. He just pulls out of nowhere. It's like, all right, let's go do this shit. I'm just like,
I like that he maintains his brand.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Which is a whole thing.
The dove. It's got to be the dove.
The dove.
The dove is facing the wrong way. I mean, just the little details of stuff like that, so good. I hope. What do y'all think season 2 will lead into?
Well, I think season 2, Peacemaker is going to carry a sticker book with dubs, so he can just put them in weapons as he needs them.
I'm gonna go a different direction from what Clay went. I think we're gonna see. I think season 2 might be a slight redemption arc for Judo Master. I think we're gonna see Judo Master maybe start off as a villain, but kind of end up becoming like friends with Peacemaker, giving a slight hint to the original Charleston team, the fact that they all work together. So
yeah, I forgot you really, before we had talked about this, you said you'd love to see the Charleston team come together.
I would like to see at least maybe 1 or 2 more characters. It doesn't have to be like, we're not going to get Blue Beetle, we're not going to get Captain Atom or anything like that. But I would like to see maybe like 1 or 2 more random appearances of maybe some of the more obscure Charleston characters.
Why couldn't you get those 2? No one's using them. See, that's what I think is like. DC should just.
They're not going to do Blue Beetle because they're already working on the Blue Beetle film.
Well, but I think Ted Kord is going to be part of that movie though, as Ted Kord only.
Okay, maybe.
So I mean, you could always have Ted Kord. I mean, he Ted Kord Industries is in Arrow, but you never see Ted Kord.
This is a tangent, but Booster Gold did show up in Legends like in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah,
which is insane. I haven't watched the episodes, but I saw the clips online. I'm like, this is crazy. Like,
he needs Beetle.
Yeah. But that's what I loved. I would like to see some more nods to the Charleston people.
Yeah,
that's where I'd like to see it.
Well, we've already had that. It's called Watchmen.
But we could. I would rather see James Gunn's Watchmen.
Kyle's gonna kill me now. Watchmen. I believe James Gunn Watchmen is Watchmen Babies. I think we established that in the chat. So
now Charleston.
I kind of want to see Idris Elba come back.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Awesome.
Maybe.
That would be cool. I think that'd be cool. Or even any. I don't know. Maybe next season they add what's his name to the team that survived at the end of the movie.
Oh, Weasel.
Yeah, Weasel.
Oh dear God!
Yes.
Wait, why not? It's his brother.
Weasel's still around, right? Harley's still around. She's doing stuff. And...
Yeah, but that's gonna be. It's like that'd be a surprise. Like again, getting Momoa or Ezra in the series.
But he also referenced Batmite. I mean, I would love to see a Batmite.
That's right.
Matter Eater lad.
Matter Eating lad. I mean, just the Legion of Superheroes. That would be the weirdest group to show up in this movie. Bizarre. Would be Legion of Superheroes in Peacemaker.
Okay, wait.
In the future.
He may be setting that up because think about it. So far with his stuff, it's all alien related.
Well, not even that. Right? They've already said that he's in the works of wanting to do another spin-off series or another DC base series. So why couldn't it maybe be like a Legion kind of thing?
And that's why I thought it was going to be a Bloodsport series that he wants to do.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I don't know.
He needs to do. I said this before. He's the perfect director for a Legion of Superheroes, right? If there's anyone who could deal with like Matter Eater lad and still like come up with a good story, like he's proven himself time and again. He's the perfect director for that.
I'm gonna go here, and none of you guys ever responded to me on Discord about this, but like some friends threw out the idea. What about Animal Man? James Gunn dealing with Animal Man.
I love Animal Man, but which arc are you talking about?
That's what I'm thinking too.
No. It doesn't have to be the great. Who did the more serious stuff in Vertigo?
That was Morrison.
That was that was pre-Vertigo.
I think Jamie Delano did some.
He came on later, yeah.
I think his arc is when I came on, and I remember that with Steve Pugh art. It was really good.
Right.
But it was really
more of like
But before Vertigo came out, it was the Morrison run when they rebooted it.
Yep. Cool. All right. Well, I think we got all the Peacemaker. Do you guys have anything else before we move forward to our
just my guess for season 2 or my hopes for season 2 is they become checkmate. Harcourt becomes the leader. As far as I feel like
you don't think Obadiah would become leader?
No. I think it's interesting because she says she was made for this shit at the end, but I don't think Amanda Waller. I mean, this is really weird to say, but I don't think Amanda Waller doesn't have a kid without an angle. Like she is she makes decisions based on her career before anything else. So
or it could be one of those villains that she decides to she has a fling one night, doesn't realize she has a kid, and decides, hey, maybe how can I use this to my advantage?
There is that. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I hadn't thought about that. Yeah.
And Economist went back to work at the old place, but I hope they bring him back. I mean,
I'm sure they would.
Yeah,
I hope so too. He was so great. Yeah.
Unless he's going back there to be in the second Suicide Squad film.
Maybe he's like the one constant across all this stuff, right? Like he comes back and leaves and comes back as needed. So
yeah. I hope Vigilante gets a standalone series, but I don't know if that's too much. But at least in season 2, give me one episode that's just Vigilante. Maybe his backstory, maybe where he's going, maybe what he does when Peacemaker's not around.
I want an episode where he has to dress like a cowboy and be the other vigilante.
Yes.
Halloween party.
So good.
You remember in Luke Cage when he had to wear his old Luke Cage outfit for like a minute?
Yeah.
The 70s Luke Cage outfit. That I just want something like a little nod to
a reference to the old Seven Soldiers of Victory.
Maybe a Halloween episode, and that's what he costumes as.
Something. I would love a Peacemaker holiday special.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
What holiday? 4th of July?
Memorial Day.
That's solid. That is solid.
I feel like the Peacemaker 4th of July celebration would just be him shooting guns that had fireworks loaded in them.
Wow.
And him and Vigilante shooting them at each other.
when they're holding the stuff that they're just shooting off during the...
Cool.
But as far as the villain, I mean, I really feel like Judo Master is the beginning of a rogues gallery for Peacemaker. It would take think about it for Judo Master. He would have to forgive Peacemaker for basically genocide.
Yeah.
That's a lot to forgive. And there were people that were his friends because he was on their side. He believed what they believed. So
that's true.
I mean, maybe season 2 we get, a weird. I don't know. I'm just trying to dive deep on DC weirdness.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like because what James Gunn kind of reaches out for is the weird unknown stuff that only
Well, if we're gonna go that direction, and only because they're teammates in the comic books right now. For Josh, let's bring Ambush Bug in.
Yeah,
fucking yes, that would be fantastic.
I mean, right now. This ties in, but I've been reading the first 2 issues of the Crisis on Earth 3, where it's Flash versus the Legion, or no, Flash versus Suicide Squad versus the Titans, and you've got right there, you've got Ambush Bug and Peacemaker infiltrating Ultraman's Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that would be. I like that team up though.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be a fun crossover once it's all done.
Yeah.
Who's writing that book?
I have to look.
It's 3 different people. It's like
because Keith Giffen is pretty much the voice of Ambush Bug.
That's what I was thinking. It's got to be Keith Giffen somewhere, right?
No, I think it's Dennis Hopeless and Thompson. I don't forget his name. Okay. Yeah, it's 2 different guys because it goes throughout their books. Like it just goes throughout their books on DC. So,
okay.
If you want to know, go check out my review of Warfare 3 / Suicide Squad 13 on the channel. I put all the credits on there. So, okay, cool. Anything else before we wrap up Peacemaker talk?
It was just fantastic.
Yeah.
Perfect amount of episodes. And executed greatly. I mean, like I said, I've watched it so many times.
So, I was looking up stuff on James Gunn. Apparently, one of his next projects is animated Warner Brothers, Wile E. Coyote versus Acme. He's writing, producing, and John Cena is attached to the project.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, I'm so happy right now.
So we're not done with that pair yet.
Nice. Well, I'm
cool.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
Well, we'll end with this. We'll end the Peacemaker talk with this.
I'm so fucking sick of that rumor. It's not a rumor. Fuck you, Barry.
He is the Aquaman we need.
Aquaman fucks fish confirmed.
I love how they have Ezra deliver that. He could have been like he could have questioned. It's not a rumor, but he said it's not a rumor.
It's not a rumor.
He's like saying it's serious.
So cool. All right, let's move on to our previously on next issue, where we talk about all the stuff we've been watching, reading, doing, if anything. I don't know you guys' life. You may be doing stuff outside the house.
No, I'm not.
Me neither. So who wants to kick us off? We got a bunch of stuff to talk about.
I'll go first if you want. Just because it won't take long. For the comic book club this month, we read Batman Last Night on Earth.
Yeah.
Which I enjoyed. It was fun. Clay didn't like it.
So what's the premise? Like,
for our audio listeners, no, it was it was fine. My biggest complaint is less about the book, although I did not realize it was basically like the coda for that team's run on Batman.
Yeah.
It was just the awful experience I had reading it on the new Comixology because
that'll give it thumbs down too.
Well, so I have this now, which is a little Surface Go, device. There is no longer a native Windows app for Comixology.
Oh.
And I tried reading it in the browser, and there are at least 5 splash page pages in the book, one of which gives you the entire backstory for what happened. And because it is all one splash page, there's no guided view for it. So I literally could not read the text. I brought it up on my my computer monitor here, it was still too small because they do that stupid thing in the browser where they add like, even in a big screen, they shrink it down to like 60%. Like I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know. It is infuriating.
The people who do the guided view, you're trusting that they know how to read comics, and they don't, and that's why you get shitty guided view, and mainly in Marvel comics.
Well, and even here, like it wouldn't work because there were like I don't know. I know when it first rolled out, guided view was human generated, right? What I'm starting to wonder if it's AI generated now because I feel like it looks for the panel borders. Yeah, this is it. It looks for the panel borders, and if there are none, it just doesn't give you the option.
Right.
So there was like I was saying in mine, only the page on the left was in my book. The page on the right never showed up. I didn't even know that existed. I didn't know that was like a broad 2-page splash page. I thought it was just this one single page. I mean, I was so angry. I was so angry. It is so bad. And now the CEO of Comixology is like being promoted to some other project in Amazon for his great job and this piss poor rollout. See, it would not do that for me. And the other infuriating thing, I couldn't zoom in. I tried doing it manually in the browser, zooming in. I tried, doing this, nothing would work. It would not work.
Yeah, this is the DC Infinite app, which still has a better reader now. Oh, look at even autoplays.
Oh,
that's cool.
That's very nice. See, I would have killed for that just to at least be able to read the goddamn words.
I'm not buying digital anymore.
I don't think I am either. I may only continue subscribing to Saga because I'm just so invested at this point that I have half the series.
Yeah.
On Comixology that I don't want to break that,
If you don't have it, it's on the current Humble bundle of comics, and you can.
Oh shit! You're right. Dude, you just saved me. You rock. All right.
Yeah, you get every volume of Saga in the current Humble bundle for yourself, and you won't have to go through Comixology to read it.
Clay Harrison, you are my economos crawling with a broken leg, man. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go do that.
I'd rather chainsaw a gorilla.
Oh, that too. Just all the economos stuff, right? Just stepping up when it's needed.
Also, Josh, they're putting out the monthly issues on Hoopla.
Wow. Oh wow, yeah, they got.
I don't know if it's same day, but 55 and 56, which are the new ones, are here as well. So
that's nice.
There are some alternatives to reading on the crappy reader from Amazon.
I'm kind of hoping at a certain point they'll do with Saga what they did with Stray Bullets, which is once the whole thing is out, you can buy the Alice Uber edition of Stray Bullets, which you can only do digitally because it's like 1,500 pages, right? But it is this enormous PDF of just the entire original run. I'm kind of hoping they'll do that at some point, but anyway, so I read Batman West Side Earth, comic related. I'm like 10 pages away from being done with this book I've meant to read for years called The Haunted Monastery by Robert Van Gulick. It is part of a mystery series that he wrote that uses the actual historical figure of Judge Dee. And I know he's like his own sort of character now in a lot of like Asian cinema. I've watched a few of the Judge Dee films, but this is a different take because he's a much older judge in this. He's much more of like a detective. This is good. This is good fun read. It has a really great setup. Sorry.
I just meant to find out. I'm the one who hasn't read it. Last Night on Earth, was that just like an end of the world story for Batman, or what was the story about?
Yeah, I mean, on its own. Like if you want to see it as a standalone thing, it's just like this is Batman at the end of the world. Like there's been an apocalyptic type event that.
Okay.
Yeah. But like Josh mentioned, it's also supposed to be on the Black Label, like one possible ending to Snyder and Capullo's run starting from the New 52, like everything.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
So it's like me not knowing any of that run except Court of Owls. It was still enjoyable, but I knew there were tons of references of things I was not getting, like just little nods back to stuff. You do get. I liked it. Clay didn't. I really enjoyed Joker's head in a jar. I thought that was great. So
I didn't feel like he had Joker's voice.
Yeah, I mean, is that how Snyder handled Joker throughout the series, though? I mean, is that consistent? And I'm just asking because, again, I didn't read it. So, but anyway, and then finally, my last thing is I finally watched Free Guy. Just sat down one night with my daughter and we watched it. It was fun.
Yeah, it's one you're glad you didn't pay for.
Exactly. I will say that. I am glad I didn't pay for it because it felt, I mean, it's a fun film, but it also felt a little
boring. Like you have Taika, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Oh my God, who plays Buddy? His friend.
Oh shit! Yeah, the comedian. I can't remember his name.
Little starts with an R, and I can't think of it. But anyhow, I feel like he stood out more than the other characters. Like if you have Taika, he just seemed to walk through it, and same with Ryan Reynolds. Like you didn't get. It's kind of like when you get Nick Cage. You want full Nick Cage. If I want Ryan Reynolds, you're going to have like Deadpool and that type of humor. But this guy was just very toned down, and like they walked through the film. Because right now I'm watching Taika on Our Flag Means Death.
Oh, I want to start that so bad. It's our next show.
Yeah, just the way they shoot him, he gives more than he gave in that whole film.
Yeah. I agree with you about Taika. He felt very much like he just showed up maybe for a couple of days of filming and just kind of did his thing. I'll disagree a little bit about Ryan Reynolds because I feel like the character that he's playing is much more kind of innocent and pure. And so he tones it back just in my view because of that, right? Like he's not Deadpool in this instance. He's
But there's a point where he gets there, breaking the fourth wall and doing the comic references and stuff, and you go, okay, so we're going Ryan Reynolds route.
That's true. Okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well, so they will team up again. They just teamed up again for the Adam Project, which I watched, and I'll talk about in a minute.
Oh, that's
the Netflix time travel one?
Correct.
I do want to watch that. Okay.
This same director is going to team up with Ryan Reynolds again for Deadpool 3. They just announced that recently.
If you guys haven't seen it, I watched it on Instagram this morning, but they have Mark Ruffalo and Ryan Reynolds doing like a little like a service
PSA?
PSA where they bring Christopher Lloyd in to talk about time. And it's amazing. Christopher Lloyd goes it's all about the timeout. Daylight savings time, but he goes so serious about it. It's like, oh my god,
yeah,
that's awesome. That is awesome. But yeah, but that's it for me. Just those three things. Haven't really been doing too much otherwise except work. So,
all right, Clay, you want to go next? I see, and then we'll go to Kyle since he's got some comics that I've read, and then I'll finish it off.
Okay. I picked up Stranger Things: The Other Side by Jody Houser. I kind of love the Stranger Things world, and that is the story of Will while he is on the Upside Down.
Oh,
okay. It's pretty good. She does a lot with just a little bit of what it's his whole time trying to figure out what's going on and everything. And
so is he the only person there, or like since we're in the Mirror universe, is he the only like individual?
Does Beth show up?
Yeah. Well, he goes to where she died, so like he kind of is around the pool area, and like they hint at a lot of things of like where she disappeared and the part where Nancy falls into it, like all the way up to there. Like, so he travels through the Upside Down and then eventually gets out, as you see in the show. But it's all the stuff that he does in between. And I think Nancy's the only person he sees or hears at one point when she falls in later in there when she's running around with Jonathan.
Do they also address Will maybe talking through the lights?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
The only problem I had was some of the art. That was it.
Who's the artist? Or do you not want to say?
I don't want to say.
Okay, that's fine.
Jody Houser, I love her writing. So if you like that and you like Stranger Things, it's a great match.
She's really good at adaptation. She's got Star Wars books, Doctor Who books.
Doctor Who, yeah.
And like she's written a bunch of Stranger Things.
And I feel like she's really good at taking those gaps in stories and filling them in ways that don't like that expand but don't ruin. Right? You know, she's done that with Doctor Who. She's clearly doing that with Stranger Things. That's a hard thing to do. So
yeah, because I've read fan fiction. It's not all good.
It's not.
Yeah,
you haven't read mine, man.
Oh God.
Follow Josh on his what are these blog sites called?
Substack.
Yeah, it used to be on his Tumblr, but now he moved to Substack.
Yeah.
I'm reading Donny Cates' Thor, but I'm only up to issue 8, and I know Daniel, you said you're current.
I just finished because I'm making a video, or I'm making another one of those what just happened videos about the God of Hammers arc.
Okay.
So,
I mean, Donny Cates doing Thor after Jason Aaron is a tough run, but it's so damn fun. I mean, he takes. Okay, you know the scene in Infinity War where in the comic it's Silver Surfer falls into Doctor Strange's
in Gauntlet. That's in Gauntlet though.
Oh, Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah. When he
falls
in
Sanctum Satorium.
In the Sanctum Satorium and says, and he's like, Thanos is coming. In here, Galactus falls on Asgard and says Black Winter is coming.
Yeah.
So that sets it up right there, the scale of what's going on, and it's so damn good and fun.
I think, if I remember correctly, the second issue starts with the DC universe dying through the due to the Black Winter. It's so good. I'm really enjoying it. Nick Klein also just fantastic artist. Like he's so good. When the Council of Surfers what do they call Heralds shows up. Yeah.
So it even had Cosmic Ghost Rider as one of the heralds.
Yeah.
So
I mean that's Donny Cates' baby.
Yeah, and plus his version of Silver Surfer, the Silver Surfer Black, is in this. Beta Ray Bill shows up to challenge Thor, and
so good,
so good. I mean, each episode is or each issue is like, this is awesome, this is awesome, this is awesome.
We've already read this. We've already talked about this a year and a half ago.
I don't think Clay hadn't caught up, so he's just redoing it to catch up on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so remember, I was down in Port Aransas when we did an episode about.
Yeah, we did talk about it when it first came out, Kyle. We were talking about it for sure.
But he just brought it up and said he was reading, so I got.
Gotcha. Okay. I was like, am I missing? Did they release something new about it?
No.
It's just his run is still going, and then Danny and I were talking about how I'm missing a few issues, like there's a Throg standalone, and then the end of another arc.
That's one of the comics I read. This is the continuation of that, like where he goes all Super Saiyan like God in this issue.
Yeah, and it makes you question the cosmic power, because Thor in this book says he took it from Galactus, and Galactus is like, it's my power to give to you, and Thor's like, nope, and just takes it from him.
Yeah,
and it's awesome.
That was a fun way to heal his arm.
Yeah,
from the previous run.
Yeah, because what was it? Destroyer replaced his arm.
Of the Destroyer.
Well, not even this. This series is what leads into the Beta Ray Bill buddy cop series that we read.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and which I loved. It was fantastic, but it was great to see them face off against each other.
You see now why he's broken at the beginning of that series and kind of lost out of place.
Yeah. I watched a movie for my other podcast with Mark, where we're doing films of our generation. This is the second film by shit. Now I can't think of his name. Werner Herzog, called "Even Dwarves Started Small." It is weird. It's on YouTube.
What? My god!
Yeah, this is the weirdest. I don't know how to describe it, because it's an absurdist comedy drama that is about little people that are institutionalized. Well, I think it was, I have 70 because this is our film from 1970.
Well, release date, it says release date February 2nd, 1971, West Germany.
Yeah. Well, it's Werner.
Wait, this is the Werner Herzog, like the Mandalorian Werner Herzog?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Like, I didn't know he was a filmmaker. I thought he was an actor.
Yeah, no, famously recreated Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so I don't think a lot of people have seen this. This is very exploitive.
I've never even heard of it.
I know, I'm right there with Josh.
Wow.
Yeah, well, so I'm going through the years trying to find something to watch, and a lot of the times I'm like, oh well, I've seen this or I haven't seen this, and this is important. Seeing this, I was like, this is so weird. I have to watch this, but it's so hard to get through because it is. Yeah, first of all, it's subtitled. It's German, and you don't really understand a lot what's going on. You're supposed like Shelby had to read the wiki to kind of understand that these people were institutionalized. And that, but they're kind of running around free, and they seem to be rebelling against the person who is running the institution and who is also a little person. And then they are like setting things on fire. They're just creating havoc everywhere. And it's weird because they laugh throughout the whole thing and they sound like gremlins. And I don't mean that as an insult. I mean, they do. If you take the Gremlins movie and pull the laughter of the Gremlins in the movie theater, it sounds just like this. Damn. And the music in it is so horrible. It's like screeching. You just want it to end. But it was more interesting to just read about it than to watch it because it was just strange. And there's and please. Anyone who is going to watch it, I'm going to warn you now. There's dead animals. There's cockfighting. There's stuff that like, you know, obviously with 1970, they just had no filter and just put whatever they wanted. But it is an offensive film in a lot of the ways that they treat animals.
You said you just found this for you guys to watch, or was this one of your guys' picks?
This was my pick because what we're doing is the films of Gen X. So we started in 1965, and each year we pick a movie. And I kind of go off and on of films I've seen versus films I haven't seen. When I just saw this, I said I have to watch this because this is just the weirdest thing.
Where did you find it? How'd you find it? Like,
I just pulled up a list of films made in 1970, okay. and when I saw Werner Herzog, I was like, and that title's weird. Let me click on it, and then it was like, oh, it's on YouTube too. I'm all in.
Okay.
I kind of wish I had watched it because it was pretty terrible, but even reading the wiki doesn't describe how bad it is.
Now, remember, Chloe, unlike our show, just because it's on YouTube doesn't mean you should watch it.
Well, the whole thing was on there if you want to, but you are warned that there's animal violence and death. There's a couple scenes. Apparently, one of the actors in the film, they like burn these flower pots in the movie, and he accidentally caught on fire. And,
oh my God.
Yeah. And then there's a scene where they take this car and they just are driving it in a circle in this area that they're just kind of destroying. And the guy that caught on fire also got run over.
Oh my God.
By this car, because you see the car, it has no driver and it's just doing circles and they're all running around it like.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to sell you on this film by any means, but it is just weird. And then I watched Batman 89 because I hadn't seen that in a long time. And I love people talking about how dark and gritty that is. And when you watch it now, it's like,
well, dark and gritty for the time. I mean, compared to what you know.
Yeah, I tried to explain to somebody. I go, yeah, but the last Batman movie was like 1966.
Yeah, compared to the last one.
Yeah. Well, you know, I just read the most fascinating thing about Batman 89 that I had never realized. The entire ending with the going up the bell tower was almost made up on the spot.
Yeah,
because they had a whole other ending planned, and it was the same damn crazy ass guy who wanted the giant spider in
Superman,
Wild West and Superman. Yeah, that guy.
John Peters.
He demanded there be a bell tower, and I think even Tim Burton was like, wait, hang on, so Joker is going to trap himself by dragging Vicky Vale up a dilapidated staircase to the top of a bell tower. Joker was like, yeah, it's going to look cool.
It's so funny watching too, because like she's dressed like in a prom dress.
Yeah.
When she goes to visit and everyone's like just talking about how fashionable she is, but it looks so dated. Like all the guys are in suits and stuff. And she just stands out in this big poofy dress that looks specifically from the 80s.
Yeah.
If you want more Batman movies, I made a list of Letterboxd.
Nice. You said there were 41?
This is every Batman movie.
What's the first one? Is that the serials?
That's the 66. The 66 movie.
So
Oh,
you don't have the serial in there then, do you? Or
No,
do
I
you?
guess not.
You could probably find them on
Okay.
YouTube. I'll bet you they're on YouTube.
I think they're on my Plex, actually. I bought the DVD like 15 years ago, so
yeah, this is everything up until the latest one.
Okay.
Including all the animated features and stuff. That's why there's so many.
And I guess after having so many Batman too, it's weird to watch the action be so slow.
Yeah.
And just not as like pop, 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 the way everything is now. But it's still, it's still good. I still enjoy Keaton and everyone in it.
Oh, yeah.
And then I finished Joe versus Carol.
Hold on, Clay.
How was that?
How is that? Yeah.
You're saying there was none of this?
The hell are you supposed to be? I'm vengeance.
Tim Burton didn't put that in?
And I love how we got Tim Drake in there.
Yeah. We were talking about that the other day. Sorry, Clay, go ahead.
Oh no, that's okay. Yeah, because there isn't much like that. Like their fights are so slow. Like it's funny
slow.
because the cowl goes down to his shoulders so that his whole shoulders have to move when he turns. So when you watch him move, you watch his whole body pivot, and it's hard not to just watch him not be able to fight.
Well, they do that thing where the fight scene in the alley with the guy with the swords.
Yeah.
Where it's a lot of just like cuts like this, so you can't focus on the actual movement because I'm clear it's just like
because the sparks look cool, but the movement is so slow.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. The Joe versus Carol thing brings up an interesting debate for reasons of there are shows that are now being or documentaries that are being turned into entertainment. And this is a weird one where this man, killed a bunch of tigers and hired a hitman to kill this woman, and is now turned into entertainment for everyone. After we've seen the real story, we get this kind of entertainment story. I will say the best parts of it are those two. That dude is from Hedwig and the Angry Inch, and man, times I forget and think that's the guy from the documentary. He's so good, he nails the voice. But they even give him moments to really just shine as an actor. They put him on the stand, and in a documentary you would get the real thing, and here you get him kind of telling his story in a very theatrical way. And it's very good. And Kate McKinnon has a scene with Kyle MacLachlan, home run. That guy plays a stiff, boring old man who is in love with this woman. You can't believe how good he is in this. It's really, I love Kyle in this. It's just it's so fantastic. But she has a scene with him near the end of the series where she talks about just going through this and how difficult and how all these men that she's had to battle through, and they all just continually try to keep her down. And it's just, I've never seen Kate McKinnon give a performance like that. It's near the end of the series, and that to me was the payoff, was how good she is, because a lot of the time you're just expecting comedy and she laughs off a bunch of stuff, and a lot of stuff is really weird, but they do go into the mindset of these two of kind of where they're at, because they both have lost so much in their life that it's hard not to sympathize with both of them, even though in the end, Joe was a terrible person who killed animals, who let bad things happen to his friends. Carol's equally as bad by manipulating the people who volunteer for her to work for free. They're both not perfect people, but their lives end up in such a bad place. And that's what I got more from this than from the documentary was about the people. But I really enjoyed it if anyone wants to watch it. But I don't know that every documentary needs to be adapted to a live action performance.
Yeah, that kind of bugs me more and more, honestly. When, I think the Tom Hanks, Mr. Rogers movie, I'm just can I just watch the documentary? Why does this exist, right?
Yeah.
If you're just going to recreate the documentary in a fictionalized way, just watch the documentary. Like, it's so.
Yeah, watch it straight from Mr. Rogers' mouth.
Yeah, but this sounds like they actually explore more than the documentary does, which is at least good, right? That's using the medium in a good way. So
yeah, because there is a scene where like she has a dinner party and kind of breaks down talking about her past of being an abused woman. And like you can kind of tell like she's never really dealt with this or talked about it, but you don't know if that's the real person or not. It's just a good performance.
Yeah.
So, and that's it. That's what I've been up to.
Cool. Kyle? And maybe don't go too much into spoilers for Thor since Clyde's reading it.
Okay.
Please.
Well, I mean, I mentioned this. I mean, you know a little bit more. I mentioned previous things. It's you find out Mjolnir is a living entity that's inside the hammer. As I mentioned that, but you basically this is coming. This is coming to more of a climactic battle between him and of Mjolnir himself, and him actually having the power to actually take him down. So it's not finished yet, but basically we.
No, that was the last. That was the last issue.
No, they still haven't. It's to be continued.
Oh, hold on. Oh, maybe did you read the latest one? Because I finished the arc this week.
No, but I'd have to spoil something if I just say what I was going to say.
Yeah, but the next one's kind of like its own standalone thing because it's
it's still continuing from effects that happened in this previous.
Oh yeah, because it's the big anniversary of 750 issues of Thor.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, got it. Okay, yeah. So it was I read Thor, Devil's Reign number 5. We're basically in this one. In the previous, have you guys caught up on Devil's Reign?
Yeah, I'm reading it. Mm-hmm. It's really good.
I'm not caught up just because I haven't been to the comic shop this week.
Basically, it comes down to like all hell breaks loose with I'll just say this, but with a Kingpin, Kildare, and then basically the hero. The hero's trying to make a big fight against the villains. So I'll just leave it at that. So it's I'm not going to go into any more than that. But they're basically doing the Civil War arc where basically Cap took the fight to the Iron Man team. So. Let's see. JLA versus Legion of Superheroes number 2. So this one I'm enjoying. So basically, it's in the last issue you found out that like somehow the Legion of Superheroes went back to current time, and especially with the new member of the Gold Lantern, disappear. And so Gold Lantern is left in the past, and he's trying to find out what's going on. You realize that the Legion of Superheroes and the Justice League have been thrown back into the 31st century, and so they're all trying to figure out what's going on. So you have one of the best scenes is Green Arrow waking up. He's naked. He's in bed, and he goes over there. He goes, "Hi, Diana." It's like, what's going on? It's like, "Oh, hi, Green Arrow." He goes, I gotta let you know, I'm not Diana. And it's like, I thought maybe seeing one of your team members might help you feel better than waking up. And it's Chameleon Boy. And so you realize, and so you realize that his costume's hanging up in the actual like closet. And he goes, "Hey, Reek, right? Yeah. Can I get dressed?" And he goes, "Oh, sure."
Oh, that's awesome.
And so you basically have the League of the Justice League meeting with the Legion, and they're like saying, "We got to get back to our time." And they're like saying, "We can't." And it's like saying, "What do you mean? We're not holding you here, past you, but we got to figure out. We got thrown here, so we got to figure out what's going on, and can we get you back to the past?" So. And then you find out that there's also more of an origin. There's also a thing where in the future you kind of learn how the character who becomes a Gold Lantern. So you're kind of seeing two different story arcs: his origin story, but him dealing with the future self being thrown in the past and making contact with the Legion in the future, and then find out that basically like time is getting all screwed up. So, I guess we'll eventually get to see what happens next in issue number 3.
Yeah, my big complaint with that one was the first one had so much dialogue because there's so many characters.
Yeah.
Like I think I showed you. I don't know if I showed you guys a page or maybe somebody else. There's just so many word bubbles, and it's like a page where it's like the whole Legion's there, all the Justice League is there, and everyone's talking to somebody. So you're like, oh, Bendis, you don't have to write so much dialogue.
But Bendis always takes the angle that someone's superhero, no matter how small, is someone's favorite. Yeah. So he always tries to shine a light on everyone.
Oh man.
Next one was this was interesting. Captain Carter number 1.
Oh, I meant to read that. How is it?
It's fun. It's fun. This is not connected to the What If universe whatsoever because in this one,
one,
she's actually frozen in the iceberg like Cap was. And she's not thrown into a different dimension. So she unfreezes, is found by a research team. Then you have like American government and England government trying to fight her. And she goes, "Excuse me, am I still a British citizen?" It's like, yeah. Then I'm going to leave now. And so it's her learning how to adapt. You know, they show scenes of her finding like certain foods like sushi. Like, this is amazing. Looking at people on their cell phones. I'm not sure what's going on. So it's her trying to adapt to the new world. And so she goes back into the working for the British government, and her handler now is Betsy Braddock.
Oh, cool.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, that's a cool touch. I like that.
Yeah, and then basically this is a different universe, so it's not the current universe. But yeah, but you find out later all her family's passed away, and you know again she's Sharon Carter of a British heritage, not the American that we knew from like previous comic books. And so it just deals with her basically just dealing with and they end up bringing an enemy for her at the end of the first issue, but it's just her trying to adapt, like being frozen for like 7 years compared to the like 18 years that the original Captain America was from 1945 to 1963.
Yep.
So
I love a character that's so well regarded in the films and TV that jumps into the comic books like this.
Same.
Gotcha. Let me see what else is there. There's also see you, Josh.
All right, sorry, I gotta bounce.
See you.
See you guys later.
The next one is Son of Kal #9, which is the second part of the crossover he did with Nightwing in the last issue of Nightwing, and I'm loving the Nightwing and Jonathan partnership because you find out that basically like there's this like new superpower team that's taking out heroes, and you have Nightwing there, and he stops a crime, and then basically they try to take out and kill Nightwing. You think they throw him off a building. Jonathan shows up and he goes, nah. And he's got like one of Nightwing's batons, throws it over. So, aren't you going to go save him? No, I want to take you guys on. So you think these guys are all super powered, but they can't do a thing to Jonathan.
Yeah.
So Nightwing's just kind of like this, falling down. He grabs his other baton, does like this whole thing, like a spread of the wings. He's got like a gliding system in his costume. So he flies back up and goes, and he's just going to sit there all the time. It's like, well, it looks like you're doing, and I figure I did my part of the team. It's like saying, well, no, I mean, granted, you're part of being like a hostage worked well, but if you want to join in, come on. So they end up taking on the super team. They knock out two of them. You find out that basically this is where it gets really touching. So one of them apparently, the guy who's working for Luthor, who's in charge of this team, basically has bombs like Amanda Waller does for the rest of the team, and it basically has the bomb in his head explode. So Jonathan gets in front of him so he contains the blast, and you see basically Nightwing's like, you just contained the blast, and he looks at him, and Jonathan's realizing like, could I have done anything to save him? Realizing this is still a 17-year-old kid. And so you see them embracing the hug. So next they're back on the Kent farm. He's talking to Lois. Lois is, I'm glad you're here. They talk about how Clark asked him to watch over Jonathan. And Nightwing's asking her to be a part of his new plan for his new thing in Bloodhaven because like you're a reporter. You're about the truth. You're all about being the front stage. You want to help me get the truth out there. He's like, yes. So he goes to talk to Jonathan upstairs and they're talking about the whole thing. And you find out that Jonathan tells, there's something not even my dad or my mom know. But when I was trapped in the future, I was trapped on this one planet in like a lava pit for 5 years, from 11 to 16, that nobody could help me. Nobody could. All I could ever think about was the hero who saved me when I was lost when I was 9. And that goes back to the Nightwing issue when he found him. And Nightwing, and he's like, I know it sounds stupid, but I really kept thinking you were going to come save me. So Nightwing goes, I'm so sorry I wasn't there, but I'm here now. Do you want a mentor for the superhero thing? And Jonathan's like, yes. And so yeah, and then so basically Jonathan's boyfriend comes in, and again, this is the whole thing with like stuff like with Peacemaker. That's right, with Spider-Man. There's a video of basically where he's containing the blast, but all the video footage is like all the people think the guy who died is the hero, and that Jonathan killed him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the best lines I love is how is Nightwing tells Jonathan's like, we're a lot alike. We both see something in Damian and know he's a great asset, and just goes throughout the whole line of how they're all how alike they are. He says the only difference is I've been at this a lot longer than you have, and so there's a bonding moment where you have the new Batman. Really, I think you have the new Batman Superman combo right there, world's finest.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I really like this. Tom Taylor. I mean, fuck, he can't miss.
Yeah, it's always fun with him, man.
And the last thing I want to do is as I was on my way home from jury duty in Denton this past Monday, luckily I didn't get picked. Yeah, but I got a jury summons that I had to go and sit there and wait for them to call the.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, I know. But I got notified that I got a parcel package, and My new Space Amoeba record from Mondo
yeah.
came in.
Fuck, that's awesome looking.
Yeah. Original music for Akira Fubuke. Again, it's all the music you're going to hear in an old Godzilla Toho film, but it's still just nice to hear. But it's amazing.
That's cool.
But that cover, though.
I know. And the record's almost just as nicely colored, too. So.
Oh, cool. Really? It's got, like, different color vinyl?
Yeah.
Are you going to open it?
Oh, already listened to it.
Oh, okay.
Can you zoom in on me real quick?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I meant to do that. There we go. Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, wow, that is neat.
Oh, you open it just from the side. Got it. Okay, yeah.
No, yeah, I'm still probably going to keep the shrink wrap for right now. I haven't decided that much, but yeah, I've already listened to it.
All right, Kyle and I are going to have to do a vinyl show someday.
Hell yeah.
I got some stuff.
Oh, you got some? Oh, yeah, that's right. You've got the Justice League.
I got a bunch of
vinyl. I'm with him. I got the Justice League vinyl too. The original. I love the score for the Justice League film. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, I know. I bought the Zack Snyder.
Oh no, I didn't do that. I bought the original one.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, let me show you guys before we get into the comics I bought this week. So like Kyle, I got Captain Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Really freaking good. Radiant Red. This is a miniseries. This is also very good. Little Monsters #1, Jeff Lemire, Dustin Nguyen. You can find reviews for all these on the channel, so I won't talk too much about them. This is probably my favorite thing I read this week, the Devil's Reign Moon Knight one-shot.
Yes.
It's so good. There's a new Punisher book out by Jason Aaron, and I really like this cover. I prefer this to the new one, to the original one. I picked up the Woman of Marvel issue #1. This one shot that they had. This is the Wolverine cover by Ashley Witter. There's a lot of really cool covers though. Devil's Reign that Kyle talked about. This cover. It's really good. Trial of the Amazons variant. This is the new Wonder Woman crossover with all the tribes. Tom King's new book, Killing Time, 6-issue miniseries. And then these are just some variants for the movie, for Detective Comics, and then the Liber Mejo one as well.
Oh,
really cool. Yeah, these are cool because they're cardstock too.
Yeah, those are nice.
And then here's the two-piece, the two-parter that Kyle was talking about. It's just a two-part story, but it's really good.
Yeah, but I feel like there's going to be another. They're going to go into something else because the way they leave it, they're still together.
And then I got the Batman the Imposter, the hardcover.
Oh shit!
And let me show you guys under the duster. It's really cool. This is by one of the writers of the Batman film, Mattson Tomlin. Black Label. Just a really cool book. Really cool. So I didn't read that, but I had already read that one. I just bought the
hardcover.
Yep. But as far as stuff that I did read, last week we talked about some comics that influenced the Batman. So I read Batman Shaman. That's the Denny O'Neil story. Batman Shaman.
Oh, Shaman. Okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting book. It's a little old, I will say, because it collects the first 5 issues of Legends of the Dark Knight, like the first series, which is like from the 70s, 80s.
Is it Alan Grant?
Maybe 80s. No, Legends started 80s.
It's Denny O'Neil. It's Denny O'Neil writing. Okay. Yeah, which I like. I think I can see what the influence is to the movie, as far as because this is Bruce being very young into being like he doesn't even really show up as the Batman as much in the beginning because it's more about Bruce trying to track down this somebody in the mountains and trying to hone his skills as a tracker, like in the Himalayas or something. And he runs into this native tribe that they have there. So he learns a lot from them. Also read Thor Volume 4, God of Hammers, which collects. I read them in singles, but it collects all those issues, starting with the Throg one shot, and then the 5-part story that Kyle talked about earlier. And then, like I said, I read the Punisher, Captain Carter, Devil's Reign, the Moon Knight one shot, all that stuff. Also, something I couldn't get physically, but I did find it online. Han Solo Chewbacca. There's a new series from Marvel.
Interesting.
So if you ever wanted to know why there was animosity between Greedo and Han Solo, you got to read this book.
Oh, cool.
Because that's what it's all about. It's Jabba sends them on a mission together, and that's the first issue, like just kind of setting all that stuff up, setting up the world.
So they have a little history before episode 4.
That's right.
Cool.
Now, as far as movies, I watched a few things. I watched LA Confidential. That was kind of a downer.
Yeah, but it's got great acting.
Yeah, it's just so long and it's slow pace and it's about cops and like doing bad things, and I'm like, that's not a, I think the view on that stuff has changed. Like, maybe that's not as cool as we thought it was in the 90s or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. There's also some actors in it that are better not talked about now. So
problematic.
Yeah. Although Guy Pearce, I love the whole bit of like everybody keeps giving him shit about wearing glasses. Like he can't look like a tough detective if he's wearing glasses.
So weird.
Yeah, but Danny DeVito's great as both the narrator and he's like the reporter. Like he's like almost like a tabloid dude that just kind of follows all these crimes and shit. But he's the narrator of the film, so he's good. He's good in that role. It's just the movie wasn't for me. One movie I did enjoy was Point Break, the original Point Break from the 90s. I've never seen it before.
Oh,
I had never seen it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I mean, Keanu, Kurt Russell, like, and I understand why people just say like, oh, it's Fast and Furious just redid the Point Break thing because it really is.
Yeah.
Clay don't like that. You like me talking shit about Fast and Furious. But yeah, it was good. I mean, it was fun. I kind of want to watch the remake just to see how they messed it up.
Well, I mean, have you ever watched the original Total Recall?
I have, but I haven't watched the remake.
Okay, you're going to notice a lot of difference in that one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there was another one. What's the one where there's like I think Russia invades Wisconsin or something?
Oh, Red Dawn.
Yeah, like all those movies that got remakes. I kind of want to watch the originals and then the remakes.
There's a difference. Red Dawn, at least, it's about another country invading the U.S. With Total Recall, they don't even leave the fucking Earth. They don't even go to space. That's the whole issue. The remake on Total Recall is they stay on Earth.
Well, in the original story, though, it's all in his head. So
we don't know that.
No, in the Philip K. Dick story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the Philip K. Dick story is different than the Schwarzenegger movie, and I feel like the remake is supposed to be closer to that, but it doesn't make it as entertaining.
Give me Schwarzenegger. Sorry.
Yeah, it's more fun. It's just a weird.
We have 2 movies with a woman with 3 boobs.
Exactly.
So
little person prostitute, 3 boob prostitute.
All right. Another movie I watched was The Adam Project that just came out on Netflix this week. It's the Ryan Reynolds time travel movie.
How is that?
It's fun.
Okay.
I liked it. Yeah, it has really good actors, and it's really a small film because there's really all of the same people. But there was one thing that, because there's time travel involved, one of the characters, you can see they're a younger person, and I wish they had just cast someone as opposed to try to like CGI DH them. Because I don't think Netflix has the same technology that Disney has. It doesn't look very good. It doesn't look very good. So, and then speaking of Colin Farrell, because Batman and well, and then also he's in the Total Recall remake.
Yeah.
I watched After Yang. This is an A24 movie about a family that in this world, like it's in the future, so families that adopt kids from China can also like they can buy like a Big Brother robot android thing. So what happens when that robot malfunctions and you kind of losing a member of the family? It's really interesting. It's a weird premise. I really like that they just kind of set up all this technology. Like there's clones and there's it almost feels like a
Netflix also, or
this is on Showtime, but it came out in theaters and Showtime at the same time. But I still have Showtime because I didn't cancel after Dexter ended, so I just watched it. But it's really interesting because they just set up all this stuff. I don't want to say it's like a Black Mirror episode that it's not super sad, but it kind of feels that way.
It sounds exactly like a Twilight Zone episode where there is a robot who is like their grandmother that raises these kids, but then like they become adults and she has to retire. And so like they're even as adults, they're like, oh, you raised us, and they're very sad. So it seems very similar to an old Twilight Zone, I remember.
Yeah. And then so I recommend if you have Showtime, I recommend the movie. I mean, I like checking out A24 movies because they're weird sometimes.
Yeah.
This one didn't have like a fully weird turn like some of the other things I've seen there. But they got some good stuff coming up. They have that movie X that's kind of like a Texas Chainsaw exploitation type of horror film. And then they have the movie, what is it? Everything Everywhere All the Time.
Yeah.
That looks super weird. So yeah, I always keep an eye out for A24
That's
movies.
a Michelle Yeoh film.
Yep. And then the last thing I watched the first 2 episodes of a Netflix show called Guardians of Justice.
Yeah, I watched that. I went through that already. That
Did
is
you,
so
you watch the whole thing?
Yeah.
So it's like this superhero parody thing that uses
really badly parody because they really rip off like the characters of the Justice League.
They use both live action stuff, animation, claymation, like all kinds of stuff mixed in.
And so they have a character in their name. Oh, what was he? The Batman character. It's
Nighthawk.
Nighthawk, who's Diamond Dallas Page.
Yep.
Oh, hey.
And one of the main villainesses is what's her fucking Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman.
Jane Seymour.
Jane Seymour. She's like one of the main villainesses in there.
Also, what's his name? Johnny Mundo or Johnny Mercury or whatever you want to call him. He shows up as Redbird or something. He's like this. He's like a ripoff of the Red Hood.
Yeah,
but they're not subtle at all with the ripoffs. But so this was actually recommended by Clay. You may recognize it. So Legoland. They recommended this for me to start watching it just because of all the parody.
Well, the creator of the series is actually known for a lot of online stuff.
I will say, and I'll throw out the Netflix also does have a content warning. So there's a content warning for self-harm because that's like the first episode. It starts off really big there.
The premise is it's a different world where basically World War III happened in the 1950s. Hitler is brought back to life. They basically bring his head back to life and put him on a cybernetic body.
Yeah, Mecha Hitler.
Yeah, and I'm like, that was a card out of fucking what do you call Cards Against Humanity. Oh my god.
But then Marvelous Man, I think, shows up. He's like a Superman analog. He brings peace to the world for 40 years, but then one night on national television, he kills himself.
Yeah, and it really goes into Watchmen because the worlds are really on the heat about nuclear arms, and he's like the one thing that's stopping them from doing so. It's Dr. Manhattan a little bit, so they take from everything.
So I want it to be, well, I hope then. So I only watched the first 2, and I hope it eventually starts being into like, it stops just giving me like all these like, oh, I know that reference or whatever, and it actually evolves into a story. And I hear it does a little bit, so I'm gonna stick with it. It's they're only like 20 to 30 minute episodes, anyways.
Yeah, but I would be very careful if you're like, they always talk about flashing with anybody with epilepsy. This one goes back and forth through so much shit that it's almost very disheartening of how much you go back. It's like
it definitely feels like something like fan made. Like I'm talking about the quality of the shots and all that stuff, like the costumes. I mean, and it's the acting. I have yet to, other than that, than the wrestlers, I've yet to recognize an actor.
No, Denise Richards. She played Marvelous Man's wife.
Right. Well, that'll tell you. Denise Richards plays the Lois Lane analog. So I have a theory, and I won't really want to go into it because I don't want to spoil anything. I know you already watched it, Kyle.
No, real quick. You know the guy when Nighthawk goes in to the guy's corporation who made the bullet.
So I've only watched the the Lex Luthor dude.
That's the creator of the series. The guy who
cool.
The guy who he basically takes and basically has to not infiltrate. Figure out why did you create the bullet? Yeah. He's the creator of the series.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stick with it. I'll let you guys know next week if I finished it.
It's different.
It's definitely something. I don't know how. I mean, I'm sure Netflix just bought it because they need content, and they're like, "This is superhero kind of."
Yeah.
But I'm also surprised, like how I don't know how this isn't in some kind of lawsuit, because it's like very clear. Like there's a character that's kind of like the Joker.
Yeah.
So like it's very clear that they're just grabbing whatever characters they want.
They even
Did they use Jared Leto to play him?
No, I don't know. I don't know the name of the actor, but I mean, he looked kind of cool.
No, but they have one character as part of their league who basically gains the power of 7 different gods.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, really?
I think it's Adam Man or something like
that.
Yeah,
or something like that. Yeah.
The Speed, there's a Flash analog. Yeah, it's weird. Like it's definitely just which is funny that they're using DC heroes. I think they're more like they lend themselves more to parody like that, I think, because the approach is different from writing DC heroes to Marvel, right? Marvel's more like street level and they have more personal lives, whereas the DC heroes sometimes they're just looked at as ideas.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess it's easier to parody that. So yeah, we'll see. Well, we'll see what happens.
Like in Thor, Donny Cates just called him the sun god, the god of darkness, and what did he call Wonder Woman? He had the emerald god. He called them. He just referenced to him as gods before he killed them all.
So, but yeah, that's about it. So we can now move on to our recommendations.
And real quick, I forgot I was going to mention something because I need y'all's help.
Oh, sure.
I am questing some physical books because I am getting rid of my digital, and I have the Annihilation series. Annihilation, Conquest. Those big cosmic events that kind of help develop the Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, I only have those digital, so I want to track down like a physical copy, and discovered that they're republishing these. So I think it's in August is the release date, but Annihilation is coming back out in an omnibus hardcover if you guys are looking for it. Also, there's the original one. I'm assuming it's the same issues that are running in it, but I'm trying to just collect physical copies of stuff because I really hate Comixology. And I hate that I've wasted money on books that are harder to read now in that shitty app. And Annihilation is going to be one of them. So, and plus it's, I love, going to stores and questing for actual books. I don't know if you guys are looking for any books in specific, but now I'm trying to track down Rocket's entire run. So I'm going back to Marvel Previews number 7 and his Hulk appearance. I'm going to start tracking those down and trying to put together a Rocket collection.
Cool. Well, if anybody has any leads, leave it in the comments. Hit us up on Twitter.
Well, what about Shelby? I mean, I know the. Oh no, never mind. Not half price. I'm thinking movie trading. Don't worry. Forget what I said. Never mind. Movie trading company has a thing where you can search for games or movies. It might be one of the other stores, and they can have it for like $5. You can have it shipped to to a location near you to pick up. But that's movie trading, not half price. Sorry.
Good luck with the omnibus, because the Justice League Avengers reprint thing came out, I think, this week, and it was like immediately everybody just,
of course,
all the scalpers just grabbed them.
I hate that because they're selling their books for way up above retail, like 200, 250.
I hate when they claim that that's for the Hero Initiative when it's not, right?
Yeah,
The original money already went to the Hero Initiative. It was really nice to see George Perez holding one. That was cool. I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, they gave him that one.
Yeah, of course.
Well, the Humble Bundle I brought up to Josh earlier, all that money goes to the Heroes Initiative. So you can actually choose how much you want to donate. And again, it has the whole saga run in it. It's got 66 books in that collection. So
just getting the whole saga, it's worth it. Just getting the whole saga run is worth it.
Oh, definitely. So, all right. So recommendations.
All right. So I'm going to start. So I don't normally read and or listen to books without pictures, but I'm listening to Before the Batman, an original movie novel. This is a prequel to the Batman movie, so I wouldn't recommend you read this or listen to it before you watch the movie. And remember, movies coming to HBO Max in April, so if you can't go to the theater, just wait around. We'll definitely be talking about that movie once we can all watch it in April sometime. But yeah, this book is really good. It goes into Bruce Wayne's past. It goes into Gotham's past. And it's only like 2 to 3 hours for an audiobook. That's pretty short.
Oh, wow. That is really short.
Yeah. Yeah, it's only like $8 or something. But I got it with an Audible credit that I had. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. Like, I don't know, I can't believe I'm reading / listening to a book without pictures. So that's my recommendation. Go pick that up. Also, Comics for the Week, we'll have reviews out for a bunch of things in the channel, so stay tuned for that.
Click.
All right. Who
Okay.
wants to run?
I put in. I dropped the trailer in for Slither. If you want to pull it up, I don't know if you want to watch it, but it's James Gunn's horror film that he did before.
Let's talk about Kyle's stuff, and then we'll watch Slither to close out the show.
I've got 3 here. So the first is they announced this past week, and I am so looking forward to this. And if you bring up that link, it has all the listed games. But Konami has announced the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection for both PS4, Xbox, and then Switch.
Cool.
Oh my god! And it's got everything from the Game Boy games to like any of the different variations of the different fight element, the tournament fighters, everything.
How much?
Oh, I love the side scroller, the arcade ones.
Yeah, it's got the arcade and the Super Nintendo clone that they did. Not Super Nintendo, the NES clone they did. It's got everything. So Turtles in Time.
What's this one? Are they trying to stop Oppenheimer?
Manhattan Project.
They got both the Super Nintendo and they got the arcade version, I think, of this one in there. So it's like
very cool.
How much?
$40.
Oh, that's a deal.
Yeah, and of course you can try to look for it physical, or you can just download it like I did the Capcom fighting collection. So again, it's I'm in that's a must. And then 2 podcasts that started this, or I found it recently this week. One started this week. One is called I Hear Voices. It's so this is on Christy Carlson Romano's YouTube channel, but it's her and Will Friedle. She did Kim Possible, and he's done Batman Beyond, everything. But they're basically going through and interviewing different voice actors. So the first one is Eric Braza, who's the current voice actor for a lot of the Warner Brothers characters, Bugs Bunny, cool. Daffy Duck, and all that stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of fun because I love voice actors, and I love hearing the stories about them just talking and them going into character and everything, and them talking. Will Friedle and Eric just talking about all the different cartoons they grew up watching. Were you more of a Warner Brothers, or were you more of a Disney? Were you doing Warner Brothers, and how long till you broke off and did Transformers, and just the history of all this kind of how they got into it. So it's definitely the first episode there. And like I said, they do it live on the YouTube channel, but then they also release audio. So that's where I've been listening to the audio. And then
cool. And
then this one is the one I'm loving. It's called Shuttlepod, the Shuttlepod Show. It's a new podcast starring Dominic Keating and Connor Trenier. Dominic played not Trip, Malcolm, and Connor played Trip on Star Trek Enterprise. And it's the actors going through and sitting down. They have their own YouTube channel where they're doing live video, but then they release a podcast. And each week they're talking to an actor that basically was played multiple roles on the series. So like this week they're doing Jeffrey Combs, who played Shran on Enterprise, but also played Wayne Yoon on DS9 and everything. But it's just them talking like a little bit over an hour and just talking about the history. They do trivia. They have people's questions they answer, and it is, oh my god, I'm in love with it.
Oh, dude, Jeffrey Combs is an icon of horror.
I know. That's why I said it. I knew you would know it.
And Dorian on Enterprise, I love that.
He was Sean. I know. He's like one of my favorite characters on. So both those, they're both like Enterprise is my favorite Star Trek series, and it did not get the justice it deserved. And then I Hear Voices. It's I love Will Friedle. And he's one of my favorite voice actors. Just all the stuff he's done. So both worth listening to.
Cool. All right. Well, now for Clay's thing, and we'll close out the show. Let's watch this Slither trailer. James Gunn movie, right?
Yeah, it's also got oh god, I can't think of
Fisher.
Nathan Fillion. It's got Nathan Fillion in it.
Nathan Fillion and the
Jason Lee, isn't it?
All right, let's check it out. I've never seen this movie. I know about it, but I've never seen it.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh, the screen as the factory or the new press of it.
Ooh, now on Blu-ray. Great.
Throughout the years, these classic horror films had one thing in common.
Huh.
From Universal Pictures comes a film so shocking.
We've got a real problem here.
So disgusting.
Don't let him in your mouth!
It will change the face of horror.
They're doing things to people, turning them into some kind of monsters.
Elizabeth Banks?
Yeah.
And it was Michael Rooker, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
How's everybody's evening? Good?
What's wrong with me?
Slither.
Have you ever seen anything like that? Me neither. I watch Animal Planet all the time.
What I love about that is seeing James Gunn's friends just show up, guys he uses in his movies over and over again. And that's a Halloween staple in our house. They haven't done a steelbook. I own that Blu-ray that they put out from Shout Factory. I wish they would do a nice steelbook cover. I would totally buy that up. And the other thing I love is we always joke about, or me and Shelby, because Shelby's maiden name is Cunningham. And the actress that plays the dispatcher, or the character's name that's the dispatcher, is Shelby Cunningham.
Wasn't she from The Office?
Yeah. That's,
okay.
Can't think of her name. I want to call her Pam Beasley.
That's how James Gunn and her met, and they got married for a little while.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So they made a movie before this. They met in St. Louis, I think.
Yeah. I know you this one. And again, this movie and the one I'm about to mention shows James Gunn's humor. But Daniel, have you seen Super?
Super 8?
No, Super.
Oh, Super. Oh, the one with Dwight.
Yeah.
Where he tries to become a vigilante.
I have not seen that.
That's a weird one.
Yeah, I own it, but it's weird.
But it also has Kevin Bacon, one of Earth's mightiest heroes,
and Liv Tyler as a drug addict ex-wife of Dwight. And then,
how much dancing does Kevin Bacon do?
he shows up at the end. It's like his appearance is very odd in it, and catches you off guard.
He's at the very beginning because like when Dwight tries to get back with her, he takes her away.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but then you have Ellen Page in there who plays his sidekick, and then Nathan Fillion playing God-Man or Super God. I can't remember his character's name, but he plays like this religious superhero. It's like, what is going on?
Yeah, but James Gunn has always said, he goes, I like to fuck with the audience in that film, like the ending does.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I enjoy all his movies. The only one I can't recommend that still bothers me is the Belko Experiment. Have y'all seen that?
I was reading that on the wiki earlier. I don't know what's the premise.
It's your people work in an office building are suddenly the office building is taken over, and they are told they need to start killing each other. Yeah, okay. So it's like it's almost like a Hunger Games in the office. And
I like the Belko Experiment.
Yeah, I mean, it's got great actors and great job, but it's terrifying in the sense that you look around and go, these people could just on a whim start executing people because they feel they have the right to.
Yeah.
Yeah, the underlying ideology is very disturbing.
It's all right. I work from home now.
Have you guys watched Brightburn?
Yeah, that one's not. No, I'm not big on Brightburn.
Okay.
But I know a lot of people like it.
I'm a stay-at-home husband now, so.
He's a trophy husband.
Yeah, that trophy was participation. It wasn't much.
Well,
all right, guys.
With that, we'll leave you guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Remember to share, like, subscribe. Leave us some comments. Peacemaker thoughts, recommendations, things you talked about, other James Gunn movies that you. We kind of ended in a big loop.
Yeah.
Well done, everyone. This was not planned. Maybe Clay planned it. I sure didn't, because I just realized it. So, yeah. Hopefully YouTube doesn't take this one down because we did play the full intro of Peacemaker at the beginning. So
I imagine other people have played it too.
I'm sure they have. So yeah, cool. Thanks for watching, everyone.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks.
See ya.
And let's get out of
Let's
here.
ride.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Twitter loves you.
Oh yeah. Clay.
Hell, Bebo.
Josh.
Simon Center, get the fuck out.